Okay, hey guys. So I'm going to do my first online therapy for rolling. This was the first movement that I done with Cali to promote her rolling skills. I'm going to use my little 7-month-old son while Cali has a sleep to demonstrate. He's a very willing participant. So when I did start rolling with Cali, it was very early. As soon as we got home from hospital, so she would have been about 4 months old. Now I started this on a bed with my knees either side of her, so that whichever way I wanted to roll her, there was a little dip in the bed and it'd give her some force. I found that worked really, really well for her, to just give her that momentum to roll over, and it taught her, like, she then wanted to be able to do it. So I'm going to roll this little one. So we would just do upper, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, legs all the way over and roll. Now obviously Cali didn't do it as that clean of a movement to start with. We would have to pull her arms out like this one and get stuck. We'd pull it out and promote that. So this was trying to get her head strength and her neck. So we done a lot of this. This was all day, every day, especially on the bed. As I can't tell you how much I think the bed helped, because she did have that dip and it'd really create momentum, and then we'd do the big, oh yeah, you know, great stuff. And then she'd want to do it more. So when we moved to a harder surface, it was a lot easier for her. Now I haven't done this in a while, and Joel might be 7 months, but he still won't roll from belly to back. He's close, but as you can see, he's a little bit of a chunker. So we'll try it. So we go all the way in. 1, 2, 3, no. Boo! You did it! That's how we essentially did it. There was nothing else. We just did it like that. We, you know, bop, 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 whee! Made it really fast, made it a really fun movement, and they really seemed to have taken to that. Sorry, I'm coughing again. It's very, very cold here. As you can see behind me, this is Cali's wall of learning, which I will do a segment on a little bit later. sorry. So that's how we got rolling. It was just one leg over the other, to roll backwards, tuck arm in, pull one leg back, just watch that they don't hit their head. He's bad for hitting his head. Now he's a totally atypical boy. There's nothing wrong with him. He's totally fine. He's probably just a late bloomer. So that's why he's 7 months and not rolling. But he can get up on all fours and rock to crawl, so he's just a bit lazy. So as I said, I'll just do it one more time so it's a little bit slower. So we rock 1, 2, 3, and then on the 4th, when we're rocking, straighten the leg that's going to be going over more than the other one and tuck the other one in. And then all the way over, and then when you get them halfway over, just hold the leg there so their head can't bang back and they can't go anywhere, and let their body do the rest of the movement. Now, you may need to get 3/4 over before they start. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4. So get them right over and create, and then let go. So they get that last little flick. Now I will do this from a sideward motion as well, just so that you can see what happens with the legs. You're being a good boy. So 1, 2, 3, 4, tuck leg in, leg crossover all the way out and over. Yay, good boy. Now we'll move on to sitting. So, because obviously sitting promotes a lot of head control. Joel is not sitting by himself yet. he can for a little while, but not a great deal. So for head control, this is how I used to do it. I would sit with Cali on my lap, with my hands on her shoulders, holding them in tight. Now, only at her shoulders, so her hands here were still free to move. Oh, pardon you, but I could hold her there and she'd wibble and wobble and carry on. Took weeks of just holding her here like this. The tighter you hold, like obviously not too tight, but just a really firm grip so that they only have to work on neck control. They're not trying to balance or anything anywhere else. They're just trying to hold their head. Then as soon as she got that and she wasn't waving, I moved down to let the arms free and hold under the chest. So then this and the top of her back had time, was strengthening. And the longer and longer she went, I'd just move down until I finally had her on the floor. And I'd hold her around the hips. Now around the hips was the final one I'd do. And then she was sitting pretty much like that. And to the stage he is now, we're all the way forward. And then I would give her something. So I don't have anything right now. Something to hold on to so that she would then let go of the floor, and then she'd have to work on that core strength in the belly and down the back. As you can see, Joel's quite hunched over, and the more things you put in front of him, so he's straightened up a lot more now, but still not great. I don't have his toy in front of me, sorry. So that's probably the first two main things that I worked on, because without head control you can't do anything really, and you want to get them to sit. Can you please sit up properly? So I hope that helps. If you have any questions or you want me to do a slow down of the different positions, I'm more than happy to. One of the positions I did actually do that I forgot to mention, and the physio thought it was great. Once I got to here holding, I'd sway, so we'd just go whoa, whoa, and naturally kids will try and keep their head and their body in line. So that's a good one. Like, you think about when you go to the side, you've got to pull up to get straight. So we go whoa, and then wait for her to want to pull up. So she wouldn't pull up herself to start with. We'd wait till we were pulling her up and work it from there. So side, pull up, side, pull up. So that's really how we got to the sitting stage. Now this wasn't sitting up. For her to sit up on her own, we had to put measures in place for her to be able to fall back safely, in a way that she wasn't going to think that it was okay to fall back. To start with, we had a pillow behind her when she first started sitting, so if she fell back, she wasn't going to hurt herself. But when it was time, she was just past 1 year, so she was about, she was 10 months corrected. We started to work on her being able to sit up by herself. So we do a transitional movement. I'll just run through this quickly, because I'll probably do another segment on this. The transitional movement. So I will backtrack. Something I did start with from very early on, which really helped with head control as well, was sit-ups. So I'd put him on the ground, or Cali on the ground. I'd go 1, 2, 3, and pull, and let them do all the neck and head control. Now to start off with, Cali's head did go all the way back, so I'd use a little bit of support, hold hands like this, a little bit of support here, and help up, and then same backwards so they don't hurt themselves. That's really how I got the head control going. It's just those 3 simple things with rolling, sitting up all the time, and sit-ups. So for sitting up, I'd hold one leg down, roll to the side a bit, and sit up. So that's the next movement I will be working on. I will leave that for another day, because this did take Cali, from the time she got out of hospital till she was 10 months corrected. So it took her 6 months, 6 or 7 months to get the rolling, the sitting and everything down pat. And that was doing this multiple times a day. With the sit-ups, I would do up to 10 times a day, just if I had a spare moment. Now, I understand that that's not as... Like, you just can't do it when you've got a few kids. Cali was my first child, so it wasn't that bad. So don't feel bad if you can't do it that many times a day. One is better than none. Lots of free tummy time on the floor. I know most kids just hate tummy time until they get used to it. But hopefully that helps. If you have any questions, just shoot me a message. Hopefully I will get on to sitting tomorrow. Callie's just having a nap, so whenever the kids are asleep, and of course they do not sleep at the same time, I will try and get some videos done. I will be putting a video up over the weekend, which will be an introduction of Cali, which will show pictures and stuff of what she looked like when she was born and her first walking and things like that. So please subscribe, like. If you have anything you want me to go across, if you have any toys that you want me to have a look at and see what we can do with, that'd be terrific. I'm going to Bunnings on Friday to get some supplies for our new therapy board, which will be battery operated, which will have a lot of different buttons and stuff. Like if you push the yellow button down there, a light's going to come up the top, but it won't be electrical. It will just be battery operated. So they're really easy to make. I'm just not sure. I've bought a few things off eBay. Half of them's turned up, so I'm not sure if the rest will be here. If they are, I will do a video of making my first battery operated therapy board on the weekend, which should be great. Callie's up to that stage where we need to promote that right hand and do a lot of constraints. So I hope you have a great day. I hope that's helped you in any way, especially for people that are rural and don't have any services like us. I'm really hoping to help. I just want to help. The depression and how scared you can be and everything we went through. I just want you to know you're not alone, and I'm always here. Just shoot me a message. I'm always up for a chat. Cali, one of her things with her CP is sleep. She just will not sleep at night, so I'm always on. So please don't be worried. You might think it's a stupid question to ask. I can guarantee I've asked a million stupid questions, but feel free to ask whatever you like. If you want me to look at some videos of your child and see if we can tweak it a little bit. I am not a qualified physiotherapist. I am just a mum of a child with CP that has modified different movements that has worked for her child. But I also have a very close family member that happens to be an early intervention physiotherapist for kids with CP. She doesn't practice anymore, but she helps me and gives me a lot of tips, and that's why I'm so confident about the things that I do, because even though I don't have services here and I can't just ring up and get advice, I can text her and shoot her a video of Cali and she'll be like, oh, you know, something that I think is common sense, like jumping on a trampoline. I thought that'd be great for promoting Cali's leg strength, and she said, no, don't do it. Cali's got a fair bit of spasticity in her legs, and the first thing that's going to strengthen is her spastic muscles. I was only going to make it worse. Common sense, like, it might not be for everybody, but for me, my common sense told me strengthen those muscles so she can walk. But I was wrong. So it might seem something stupid, but no question is a stupid question. All our kids are different. All our therapies are different. But we only get therapies for a short amount of time, and nobody will know our children better than we do. And we can modify things to do the best for our children. I've been told 100 things to do with Cali. Lock her into chairs and stuff. And just for Cali, that wasn't right. I understand for other kids it is, but for Cali it was not right, and we refused, and now she's walking. Please, that is not for every kid. I'm just trying to reiterate how we know our kids best, and we need to do the things that are best for our kids. So please, anything you want to ask, anything you want me to show, please go ahead. I really want to reach as many people as I can, and you are not alone. Have a great day, and love your children just a little bit more today. Bye.